Hello there, my name is Joe. I'm going to talk tonight about the Beretta92FS. Just real quickly, the origin of the gun is from Italy. It's designed and originally produced in it was about 1972 when the gun was first introduced to the market. It ramped up its production in 1975, and ultimately by 1985 this gun became the replacement for the .45 ACP for the American military as its sidearm. The variant that's used in the military is an M9. It uses M882 ammunition, which is a little bit slightly different from this gun, which is a 9mm Parabellum or 9mm Duger. You can shoot both through it. The gun comes with two 15-round clips. As you can see, they're empty. A cleaning brush kit, which includes the cleaning rail rod, the brush, and an extra brush. What's interesting about the gun, and I want to show real quickly, it is unloaded for safety purposes. What's really unique about this gun is that it was like I said, designed in Italy, but it came over to the States or America roughly in about the 1985 time frame, and it was production and plants were set up in this country to take over the actual assembly and design, and also the assembly of this sidearm. One major plant is in Assateague, Maryland. The initial training was done by the Army down in Aberdeen Proving Grounds. The takedown of the gun is relatively very simple. I'm going to, for purposes here, slide this frame forward, and we're going to go over real quickly how to take this gun down. As you can see on the back side of the gun, now that I've flipped it, there is a detent button right here, and then there's a lever. To take the slide off the frame, what you do is you push in on that button, you slide the lever down, the frame comes off, or the slide comes off the frame. Two things to keep in mind: you have rails here, so quickly when you do clean this gun after you're done firing it, you want to make sure that these rails do have lubricant on them, and that any powder or residue, or oil that can accumulate from the cleaning processes is clean. What I do is I spray this down with Gun Blaster, which is a spray powder remover, and then what I do is I lubricate it adequately enough that I can wipe it out and have enough lubricant on these rails. Now, that's the frame. Really not much more you need to do to break this gun down unless you're going to do modifications to it on the frame. The slide, pretty much straightforward. You basically have to take your thumb, push down on this detent pin, the pin rail, and the spring, and that comes out. Then the barrel comes out right behind it. So basically the barrel comes back in, or goes back in like this, like that, and it can come right out. It slides in and out very simply, I think. And then putting it back together is a pretty straightforward process as well. The barrel goes back in the way it came out, making sure that it slides all the way up, and that this portion of the barrel detent for the spring assembly is fully down flush. Then you would take the spring and the actual pin guide, which is polymer. This is plastic, so be careful. You do not want to put too much force on this by manipulating it wrong. You could bend it or snap it. And then what you want to do is you want to put your finger or your thumb over the detent pin, put the spring back into the receiver, slowly press the spring back into the receiver and make sure it locks onto the detent portion of the barrel. You can just wiggle it real quick to make sure, that it's on there. Then you want to line up the frame rail with the slide rails right there. So this goes back on like that. And what you do is once you bring it back, you want to kind of like hold it and then engage that lever back up into the lock position. Then you can let it go. The gun is now back together, and it is now functional, actually. What you can do to do a couple function checks real quickly is notice how the hammer is cocked. One thing I usually do, make sure that it's not loaded, is check the decocker, and it works. Then I would also slide it up and lock it, make sure that the lever keeps the slide open. It does. I would also let it slide forward, and then the last check I do is with a mag. I usually slide a mag in, pull it back, and it should lock back with the mag in it. I usually dump the mag and then leave it down. So for video purposes, to ensure that it is definitely unloaded. Safety is important. I always truly believe that you never aim a gun at anyone, and you always treat a gun as it's loaded. With that being said, the Beretta is a beautiful gun to shoot. It's very reliable. It's been serving our military now for over 25 years. I can't say enough about how much I really love this gun and shoot it. I hope you all, if you decide to buy one, you will realize just how beautiful the gun is to look at, and then two, just how great it shoots. One thing to keep in mind if you are out there thinking about buying a gun, this gun is not for everyone. It has a very wide grip. If your hand is small, you may find it very difficult to pick up the gun, manipulate it to a point where you can actually grip it and shoot it. Just keep that in mind. Other than that, though, I hope if you do buy one, you enjoy it. And with that, I'm going to say, well, have a good evening, be safe, and enjoy what you do out there with your hobby, which is something I enjoy doing, and that's target shooting. Take care. Good night.